We've mentioned requirements several times so far because they are at the heart of the business analyst's work. However, it's worth taking a moment to more formally define what we mean by requirements and to look at the type of requirements that might come into play when conducting business analysis. When speaking about requirements, we have to actually first start with needs. Needs motivate stakeholders to take action. These are also referred to as business needs often because they come from some sort of strategic viewpoint. They're something that is critical to the heart of the company's objectives, something that's either impeding us from doing our work effectively or represents an opportunity for the business to expand and be more successful in what it's doing. Requirements are refined from these needs and outline what should be done about them. So we may see that we need to be faster in the way that we fulfill shipments to customers, but that doesn't actually give us any usable, actionable information. That's what requirements are for. Solutions are particular methods for meeting these requirements and satisfying those underlying needs behind requirements. And value is either the tangible or intangible worth that's created when requirements are met using these solutions. With this in mind, there's actually a hierarchy of requirements that we can look at as well. At the top are business requirements, followed by stakeholder requirements, and then underneath those, solution requirements. Business requirements are strategic and broad in nature. They represent why action is being taken in the first place. These are the underlying needs of the organization specified in some fashion that's measurable. They may apply to either the enterprise as a whole, to a certain department within a company, or to a particular initiative that's taking place. Examples of business requirements would be to increase top-line revenue by 10% next year, reduce customer hold times by an average of 3 minutes per call, or introduce a new product in order to effectively compete with new competition that's come into our market. Below business requirements are stakeholder requirements. These requirements are expectations regarding the work that needs to be done, how this work will be done, when this work will be done, the level of communication that will be provided, both in terms of format and detail, regarding the work that's progressing, as well as the level of contribution that is required or expected from each of the different stakeholders who might be involved. Examples of stakeholder requirements tend to be a little bit more abstract than business requirements. But these are the sort of things that we'll hear from stakeholders that we work with along the way. For example, these features are most important to me, so focus on those. We need this completed within a month. We need the solution that includes this supplier due to a contract or because we simply prefer to work with them. Minimize the number of focus groups used, someone might say, if they want to make sure that time isn't spent in group settings and that instead we can focus more on getting information one-on-one so as to not require entire teams to have downtime for elicitation purposes. Or, I don't have much time to contribute, says a stakeholder who might not want to get terribly involved and probably isn't too invested in the overall outcome, perhaps even resistant to any action taking place. These sort of requirements have to be worked through and understood. Whatever the fundamental reason is behind each of these is important for us to analyze and understand as analysts so that we can meet these as best as we can while not undermining the overall business requirements that we're seeking to achieve. Solution requirements are found one more level down below stakeholder requirements. These are details regarding the solutions to business requirements that we develop or propose. These indicate how solutions should be developed and deployed. Within this area, we find two different types of requirements. The first being functional requirements. These describe the capabilities that are designed in order to meet both stakeholder and business requirements. So here, this is what our solution should do. On the other hand, we also have non-functional requirements, which describe the situations and environments in which the solution should be able to fulfill its job. Not only should our solution be able to accomplish certain tasks, but it must be able to do so for a certain amount of time, with a certain amount of consistency or accuracy, within a certain geographic environment, within a certain climate, or without exceeding certain limits, whether they be technical, financial, or otherwise. Examples of functional requirements include systems needing to be able to accurately route 15,000 packages per hour. So think about us as a shipping fulfillment system. Perhaps this is one of the things that we are seeking to deploy in order to meet a business need. This would be a firm example of a requirement. Perhaps instead, we're working on developing a new price generation software tool. Here, the solution needs to be able to generate price quotes within 10 seconds of a request being placed. This would be another functional requirement. Ideas of non-functional requirements would include the uptime for a solution needing to be at least 99.999% following its deployment because it's critical to a variety of different business applications. Another type of requirement might be the ability for the system to operate in temperatures ranging from -20 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. This could be important depending on if it's perhaps a scientific tool or something that needs to be hardened for outdoor use in a wide variety of different environments. Finally, there's also another type of requirement aside from business, stakeholder, and solution. These are transition requirements, which are those that apply while moving from the present to the future state. These are temporary in nature, unlike the other requirement types, which are permanent to either the business as a whole, the stakeholders who might be involved, or the type of solution we're seeking to deploy, because they only apply while we're building out that solution. Examples might include the old and new ticketing platforms operating in tandem until a trial period has ended successfully. In other words, we need to have a smooth handoff from our old way of doing things to our new way of doing things to ensure no disruption to our customers. Provisional results from newly automated systems might also need to be verified by staff until enough data is collected to prove that it's working correctly.